Salut tout le monde, my name is Lukael and welcome to Cyberpunk 2077. Or Cyberpunk 2077, you probably haven't heard it called that before. So as I'm sure you all know, this is a game developed by CD Projekt Red, released in 2020, and it is based on the Cyberpunk tabletop game series created by Mike Pondsmith, the first of which came out in 1988, which would make it like one of the first few works in the cyberpunk genre, which really came to life around the 80s. Now, I consider myself a pretty big fan of the cyberpunk genre. You know, I've seen the movies, the Blade Runner and the Akira and the Ghost in the Shell. More importantly, one of my favorite works of fiction ever is the manga Gundam, which some of you might know as Battle Angel Alita, as it's known in the West. Not to be confused with the movie. We don't talk about that. It was alright, but what I really liked was the manga. It's one of my favorite works of fiction. Started reading that when I was really young. It came out in the 90s, and I would say it probably kind of introduced me to cyberpunk. And I was instantly hooked, you know, this dystopian future, the cybernetics, the cool aesthetics. I think probably the aesthetic is like a big reason why people love cyberpunk, but it explores very interesting themes, you know, what it means to be human, these dystopian futures, the use of cyberware, like where does the human stop and the robot begin, artificial intelligence and its place in our society. In fact, if you want to hear a lot more about my thoughts on kind of artificial intelligence and human consciousness, I recommend watching out my Detroit Become Human playthrough, because I really kind of went more at length about these topics in that playthrough. The nice thing about Cyberpunk is for a long time it was like retro-futuristic, so it would have these 80s or 90s aesthetic, but with elements of the future. Like in the original tabletop game, you would have like cell phones or little personal computers, things which at the time were only, you know, sci-fi fiction, but are of course now extremely prevalent, very normalized. It's always really interesting to look at works of sci-fi in the past and see how they kind of envisioned the future would be. To see all the crazy things they thought we would have achieved by now, like flying cars and things like that, but also to see the things that did come to pass, like personal computers and cell phones and artificial intelligence were not quite there yet. A lot of elements and themes it was exploring actually became a little too relevant as time went on. Things like what happens if corporations gain too much power, and the growing class divide, and societal collapse, and so, you know, always nice to have some escapism so we can forget the actual world we live in right now. But anyways, back to this game specifically, Cyberpunk 2077, it famously released in a bit of an undercooked state. You know, it came out to very mixed reviews. It was filled with bugs, kind of missing features and problems like that. But hey, they stuck with it. They kept adding bug fixes and patches, and they even released an expansion, Phantom Liberty. But from what I hear, Cyberpunk is actually a pretty damn good game now after all these updates. So now seems a good time to jump into it. I've been very, very excited to try it out, but also a little bit nervous because I know this is a massive game. It can take upward to 100 hours to complete if you're trying to do everything. And so the idea of doing a let's play of this game is a bit intimidating for me, because whether this is your first time on the channel or you're already familiar with my playstyle, you know I love to kind of take my time. I'm very thorough. I like to get immersed in the lore and really kind of take time to know the universe and the characters, and you know, I'm a bit of a completionist. I like to pause the game and share my thoughts, and so this might end up being a very, very long playthrough. So before I jump into a new blind playthrough, I always like kind of sharing what I know already about the game for the sake of transparency. And so here's what I know about Cyberpunk. I know it's like a first-person shooter slash RPG. I know you get to choose between a male or female V at the beginning. I know the main character is V. I know that Keanu Reeves is in the game. I know he plays Johnny Silverhand, which is like some kind of... I don't really know what he is. He's a Keanu Reeves. I know you can create your own character. I know you can choose between 3 different kind of origins. I know that there's romances and branching paths, maybe? I'm not actually sure how much branching paths or choices you actually get, but I would say that's probably all I know about this one. It's always been a bit intimidating for me. I know every time I see a screenshot or footage of this game, like the UI seems very busy, like there's stuff in kind of like every corner, there's different people talking to you. And so if you know me, I tend to get a bit of sensory overload very easily. Like I'm very easily overwhelmed when there's too much information at once, especially when I'm doing a let's play. So we're going to be taking our time, and I'm going to do my best to kind of keep my focus. So as I said, I do love Cyberpunk as a genre, but when it comes to specifically Mike Pondsmith Cyberpunk universe, I'm only, I'd say, slightly familiar with it. Like, I know kind of in broad terms what it's about. I know it takes place in Night City. I know that there's like these giant corporations that hold all the power. I don't really know any of the specifics. I did watch the Cyberpunk Edgerunners Netflix show, which was really, really excellent. I watched that when it came out, so like, what was it, 2 years ago, I think? I'm actually in the process of rewatching it now to get myself familiarized with the universe once more. And so I think that gave me a pretty good idea for what this world is about, but of course there's nothing like jumping into the game itself. So that's long enough for the introduction. Hopefully I've kind of covered everything I wanted to talk about here. So yeah, all I have left to say is I really hope you guys will enjoy going on this adventure with me. So sit back, relax, and let's jump right in. Alright, so I'm gonna be playing on normal. Why is the heart kind of highlighted here? This is my first time in this game, so we're just gonna go with normal, which I assume is kind of the intended experience. Enemies will have all the tools at their disposal to take V on, but for the most part, only enemies at a higher level will prove a significant challenge. I mean, just based on this description, I kind of want to play on hard. Can you change this later? I'm not sure. I really don't know how things are gonna go in this game, so I'm just gonna go with normal. Now, we get 3 different life paths for V. We have Nomad, Street Kid, and Corpo. So, roaming the Badlands, looting scrapyards, raiding fuel depots, life on the road wasn't easy, but growing up in a nomad clan has its perks. Honesty, integrity, and a love of freedom, qualities that few in Night City possess, and no amount of money can buy. Street Kid, they say if you want to understand the streets, you gotta live them. Gangs, fixers, dolls, small-time pushers, you were raised by them all. Down here, the law of the jungle dictates the weak serve the strong. The only law in Night City you have yet to break. And then Corpo. Few leave the corporate world with their lives, few are still with their souls intact. You've bent the rules, exploited secrets, and weaponized information. There's no such thing as a fair game, only winners and losers. Now, like I've said, I'm only slightly familiar with the setting of Cyberpunk with Night City, and so based on these, it seems what makes the most sense to me would be to start as a nomad, because I assume you're kind of like coming out from outside the city, and then I guess maybe the game will introduce the city a bit more like you're an outsider, which seems like this would be the most welcoming for a newcomer like me, so we're gonna go with Nomad. And here we get to create our V. Now, in the interest of time, I'm not gonna take you guys with me through the entire process. We're gonna jump right at the end when I finished making it, because I wanna take my time and really kind of dive into this, and I think it's gonna be kind of boring to watch, so let's jump right at the end with my completed V. Alright, so this is my V. The character creator is actually not as in-depth as I thought it would be. Now, given this is a first-person game, so I guess it doesn't really matter that much like what you look like. I don't think you're gonna see yourself that often, maybe in mirrors and like in a few cutscenes, but so this is what I came up with. She's like very, very vaguely inspired, like in the smallest way, by Gally, the protagonist from Gundam, you know, just because of the black hair and kind of like a bit the cybernetics. I wasn't really that crazy about any of the hairstyles, so I went with kind of this shorter hairstyle. I do kind of like the androgynous look. She feels very naked without the tattoos, but also I wasn't really a fan of any of the tattoos. Like they're very, very big pieces, kind of like super detailed. And I almost went with like a few on the sides, but then, I don't know, I wasn't sure. I don't know if this is something you can change later. Like, I don't know if you can change your appearance later. I feel like you probably can, just because that's the whole theme of Cyberpunk, is getting to choose what you look like and modify your body. So I assume you can change your appearance later. I hope I'm right about that. So maybe we'll get some tattoos later. I'm also opting not to play with any mods since this is the first kind of playthrough. I know there's a ton of mods for this game. I think it's one of the most modded games on Nexus mods. And so I know you could like customize your appearance to look like whatever you want. I'm choosing not to do that here. Like I want to get kind of the vanilla experience for my first time. So I could have tried getting her like the galley patches on the cheeks and things like that, but and your body tattoos, I assume you're going to be wearing clothes most of the time, so it doesn't really matter. Now, this being on YouTube, I'm also, of course, playing with the nudity filter on, so there's not going to be any nip-naps in this playthrough. So in these kind of RPGs, I do tend to create a male character just because it's a little bit easier to roleplay as yourself. And I considered doing that for this game, but like Cyberpunk, it's kind of a Mass Effect situation, right? Like you might create your own character, but the character still has a voice of their own, and I assume kind of like a set personality that you can influence a little bit, but like they have a bit of their own vibe. You know, male shepherd had a vibe, female shepherd had like a kind of separate feel to her. And so I really wasn't sure about this. I looked at like a video that compared kind of both V voices, and I do prefer the female voice a little bit. I feel like the male V, I don't know, to me the male V sounds like he's trying like a little bit too hard to sound really like gruff and edgy. He's like, yeah, it's me. I felt like the female V sounded a little bit more natural. And so just because I kind of like the voice better, I decided to go with a female V for my playthrough. Now here we are customizing attributes. So body determines your raw physical power and fortitude. Progressing it improves your proficiency with shotguns. Light machine guns, blunt weapons enables you to open some doors by force. Rip off turrets and use intimidating or solo trained dialogue choices. And you get more max health also. Then we have intelligence, determines your net running abilities. Progressing it improves your proficiency with smart weapons, allows you to unleash your full potential as a net runner, also enables you to access local subnets. Show off your knowledge of the net in dialogues. Seems like 3 is kind of the minimum stat for all of these also. Reflexes determine your maneuverability and ability to evade enemy attacks. Progressing the attribute improves your proficiency with assault rifles, submachine guns, and blades. Enables you to use advanced movements. Enables you to make quick, observant remarks and dialogues. We have technical ability, your techie know-how. Explosives, tech weapons, be compatible with high-end cyberware. Allows you to bypass some locks, override devices, and exhibit tech-savvy knowledge and dialogue. And then the cool factor, your assassination skills and stealth abilities. Precision rifles, sniper rifles, handguns, throwable weapons. Use advanced stealthy perk abilities and subtle or street smart dialogue choices. You get more crit damage with this one. I don't really know what playstyle I'm gonna go with yet, so it's hard to make a decision in your first time like this. I would say probably put a point in intelligence, put a point in reflex, technical, cool. I guess we can put 1 point in everything. I kind of want to be, well, you never really want to be a jack of all trades, right? You kind of want to be really good at one thing or the other. I mean, knowledge of the net. I don't really know anything about the net. I guess I want to be observant. I think I'm gonna go like this. Seems a bit too balanced, but we'll see how it goes. So begins your story in Night City. So our alias is V, but like, do we have a full name? Is it like Victoria or like Valerie or Veronica? I don't know if I'm supposed to come up with like an actual name for my character, with V just being like a nickname. So we are a nomad. We're going to be playing on normal. 4 body, 4 intelligence, 5 reflexes, 4 technical ability, and 5 cool. Let's jump in. It's me. Patch. Remove patch. Where's my patch? Oh, this patch. I don't think you can just rip that off like that, but okay. The bakers?
Said it was nothing serious when I came in. You said you were sure.
Okay, I don't know if you guys can see that. I'm getting quite a bit of screen tearing. I'm gonna have to turn on VSync. Welcome to Cyberpunk 2077. First time in Night City? Yes, it is. Pay close attention to the tutorials to learn more about the basic mechanics of the game. If you're already an experienced edge runner, feel free to disable hints. Go to the database at any time during the game to access tutorials, as well as read up on the most important topics of Cyberpunk, which we will do for sure. Now let me turn on VSync. This is quite a demanding game to run and record at the same time. So my computer, you know, it's pretty high-end, but it's not like a super beast of a computer. So I am running the game on high with no ray tracing, and I've done some testing. It should run fine. I'm hoping there's not going to be any frame rate drops. But if there are, I apologize, and like I'm gonna try adjusting for future episodes for sure. All right, that should help.
Guess I was wrong. Can always look for another shop where they won't ask a lone nomad while she's hugging the border.
Check engine, step aside, I'll handle it. I'm going to pay you what we agreed.
You're wearing on my patience now.
Sure.
I'm gonna pay you what we agreed. Not one anymore.
Huh. For that, you can borrow my tools and fix it yourself.
All right, well then step aside. Can I look around your place first? It's very loud in here. Sorry, I just like to look around. The Unification War for Gunks? Do I need to hear this the whole time I'm reading? The Unification War is the most recent armed conflict to take place in North America since the collapse, lasting from January 2069 nice, to June 2070. Although the Unification War is formally recognized as a war between the new United States of America, the USA, and the governments of the Free States, most scholars also classify the conflict as a corporate war. It is well known that the USA was backed by Militech hardware, personnel, and other resources, whereas the Free States received the significant yet tacit support of the Arasaka Corporation. The Unification War is also sometimes referred to as the Metal War, or Metal Wars, in reference to the wide use of armored cavalry units, so-called panzers. The bloodiest battle in the Unification War was the Battle of Ridgecrest. In just one day, at least 3,000 people were reported killed. North California and South California were on opposite sides of the war, allied with the Free States and the USA respectively, while Night City maintained a position of neutrality. Yeah, Night City is like a city-state, right? Like they have their own kind of sovereignty. The Unification War ended when all parties signed the Treaty of Unification in Arvin, South California. Both sides claimed victory. Can you do that? Can both sides be victorious? The Free States emphasizing that they had preserved their independence, and the USA boasting that they were closer than ever to reunifying a divided American people. The end of the Unification War, however, was not an end to the conflict at large. The leading AI analytics software predicts another hot war will likely break out by 2080 with 74% confidence. Well, that's bad. Okay, so we have messages. Mega Medicine Lottery. Attention! Buy 2 tickets, get the third for free. Thousands of prizes are still available. Drugs, reanimators, primary care appointments, surgery vouchers, blood screens, cyberpsychosis vaccines, reproduct referrals, and our grand prize, a 1-year Trauma Team premium package. Yeah, I am like vaguely familiar with Trauma Team and cyberpsychosis just because these are kind of shown and explained in the Edge Runners show. So I know if you put in like too much cyberware, you might go psycho. And then also Trauma Team is like an exaggerated version of the American insurance system, basically. They are this very heavily armed, like, tactical unit that saves people, but only if you can pay for it. Hurry while supplies last. Your neighbors already have their tickets. Buy yours now. Alert, you've been attacked. Malware detected. Your computer has been attacked by 3 demons. Our system detected 2 attempts to obtain your personal data. 1 attempt to corrupt your neural processor. Immediate action required. Our quick threat neutralization software can prevent identity theft and implant hijacking. Remember, hostile netrunners can infiltrate your nervous system and force you to commit terrible crimes. Yeah, imagine a future where like someone can just hack into your brain, infiltrate your nervous system and force you to do like weird things. I hope we never get to that point. Fraudulent bank transfers, assault, theft and or armed robbery, suicide. To protect yourself, click the Scan Now button. Our sophisticated anti-demon software will eliminate all threats immediately. If you do not scan in the next 5 minutes, your operating system may suffer irreversible damage. Protect yourself now. How much you want to bet that using this scan is actually the malware? You are a winner by Kenoshi Corp. Congratulations! Greetings, user. Due to your continued use of Kenoshi services, you were entered in a raffle and have been selected for one prize. The Thermosense 9873. Reply to this email in the next 10 minutes to claim your prize. Hurry now or another lucky user will be seeing the world in thermovision instead of you. Okay. Parts purchased or acquired by... Oh, I guess this is this guy's computer. It's not my computer. Parts purchased and acquired by alternative methods last month. Okay. Then we can access the net. Can we... Oh my god. We can read all of these? I kind of want to read these, but I want to read them in a place that's less noisy. Oh, sparkling water, consumable, 5% stamina to regenerate. Give hydration a chance. You don't mind if I steal that, do you? I'm sure he doesn't mind.
Yes, I'm talking to you. Are you getting what you want out of life? Let me guess. Food from a tube, rusty water from the tap, another murder outside your bedroom window. But what if you could leave all that behind? Far, far behind when you begin your journey to the final frontier. Send the word SPACE to 7299 for a chance to win a one-week getaway for two at the Crystal Palace. 10 casinos, 5 pools, top-end brain dance equipment, and the best chefs in the universe. If you're looking for a taste of paradise, don't wait a microsecond longer. Send SPACE to 7299 right now. The Crystal Palace. Feel alive in the dead of space.
It's not a bad... Ugh. That's terrifying. Yeah, it's weird. They have, like, space stations. It's weird to imagine this... Okay, this is... It's very loud in this garage. I can't hear myself think. It's weird to imagine this hyper-technological future where, like, a lot of people are very, very poor, but then there's also space stations? And people going to, like, resorts in space? I know this was kind of like what Lucy wanted in Edge Runners, was to go to space, right? So we have kind of this basic revolver equipped. Max Doc. I guess that's like a healing charge. A grenade. Nothing on our head. V's vest without the baker's patch. Your first step down a new road. Okay, items have a weight also. So I did play The Witcher 3, which was, I guess, Cyberpunk's previous game before this one, or at the same time as this one, because they were working on this one for a very long time. But I'm expecting some of the systems to be a bit similar to The Witcher 3, like items having a weight and things like that. No point wearing new threads on the road, they'll just get dirty anyway. Backpack. Ooh, cyberware. So, okay, so you have a cyberware capacity. Indicates the amount of cyberware your body can handle. This limit increases as you level up, acquire certain perks, and use cyberware capacity shards. So I don't think there's going to be a cyber psychosis mechanic in this game. Like if you try to install too many cyberware, your character just goes psycho and you're game over. Is that something that could happen? I mean, it could be kind of cool. More likely it's just that you can't equip cyberware if it's past your capacity. I guess we have nothing equipped right now other than like the basic cyberware that like everyone has. So like the mental chip thing. Which that is insane that everyone would have that equipped. So we have a map. I guess we're right outside of Night City right now. That is a very big map. I guess we're still in the Badlands right now. Oh, geez. Whew. Okay, so we've got a bunch of skill trees. A different skill tree for every, like, attribute. Oh my god. I'm already kind of overwhelmed by this amount of information. Journal. Yo, V, every story's gotta start somewhere, right? Even if it means that somewhere is in the middle of nowhere and the most Nova place to hang is a dusty-ass fuel stop. You abandoned your nomad family to come find the dude who hired you to smuggle something for him across the border. This guy will change your life, chica. Who sent me this message? South California. People used to say that California was big enough to be carved up into smaller states, and it was. Only in much more extreme circumstances than anyone ever imagined. The Gold Coast state was split into two following a referendum in 2002, ratified only in 2016 by the federal government in Washington, D.C. Though clearly a symbolic... It is kind of funny that I'm playing Red Dead Redemption right now, which is like historical fiction, I guess, because it takes place in historical states, but in the actual American Wild West. And this is like a fictional future, but also has elements of like alternative history because things happen differently in this history. I don't know. It's interesting to have kind of like these two different games running at the same time. Both about America and how fucked up it is. Though clearly a symbolic division didn't go far enough. As soon as the Unification War breaks out, both Californias are at each other's throats. Today, the citizens of South California want nothing to do with their cousins in the North. If there's one thing you can count on about the United States, it's being very divided and not united at all.
I love escapist fiction.
To make that blindingly obvious, they built a not-so-subtle 20-foot wall. And like most border walls these days, there are no warning shots. Nomads. The first nomads were farmers forced to leave their land by a series of natural disasters, wars, and corporate machinations. They moved out, gathering in larger and larger groups, hoping to find a better home for their families. So basically you have Night City, and then outside of Night City is just Mad Max, right? Is what's happening. Hoping to find a better home for their families, but what they saw on their journey across the states convinced them they were better off staying on the move. Historically, the nomads are divided into 7 nations, such as Snake Nation, the Aldecaldos, and Jodes, each of which is divided into clans and from there divided further into individual families. Nomads travel with their entire families in search of gainful employment. They rebuild cities and factories after the collapse, while also playing an important role in creating the Maglev network. Some clans take jobs from corporations, seasonal of course, so as to not to stay too long in one place, while others work for local communities. Nomads place value on family, biological or not, and follow their own unique code. They demonstrate loyalty to family and clan above all else. So that's what I was, and I'm not anymore. So that's all we have in our journal for now. There doesn't seem to be like a data log. I guess this would be the closest thing to a data log, like these entries. I guess more of them will get added over time. So I won't look at all the skill tree yet because, you know, it's a lot. Backpack. Ooh. We have quick hack components, filters, crafting. Oh, geez. So we even have some crafting. I'm going to wait until the tutorial actually teaches me about all these things. I think that's probably for the best. And upgrades. And then we have stats. Damage per second. 0. How is my damage per second 0 if I have a gun? Armor, health, other. RAM recovery rate. Yeah, I know there's a big aspect of like hacking in Cyberpunk. I don't know how they did it in this game. Like, is it a little mini game where you hack enemies' brains while you're fighting? Does it all happen kind of off screen? I don't really know. I'm curious to see how they handle that. Cyberware. Oh, database? Oh, there we go. There's a lot of menus. Database, vehicle. Oh, Jesus. Is there really that many Oh, jeez. Okay, that's a lot of reading. Well, okay, I'm not gonna read the 54 vehicle entries, right? It's not really that relevant. But we can read some of the other ones that are like more important to the world, like my entry. Okay, so that's just the basic nomad entry, that's fine. Night City. The City of Dreams was founded in the 1990s by visionary industrialist Richard Knight. So that's why it's called Night City. When the world of the late 20th century plunged into chaos, Knight envisioned a modern metropolis free from crime, poverty, and corruption. How'd that turn out? Corporate partners Arasaka, IBM, and Petrochem helped him realize this vision, investing in the foundation of what would become the free city of Night City. The city would develop into a haven for young idealists and a beacon for others who sought to fulfill their own dreams. It was like its own little miniature American dream within the larger America. And it turned out just as well. Although Richard Knight fell to assassins and many new generations seeking fame, fortune, and freedom have suffered their own series of setbacks, the city's legendary status endures today. Night City has it all, from the monumental skyscrapers of industry-leading mega corporations to the luxury villas of world-renowned stars to the lawless neighborhoods where war is waged every day. You will stumble across mercenaries, gangs, and famous rockers, but also junkies, bums, and even cyber psychos. You will stand in the shadows of colossal mega buildings and get lost in the maze of streets, alleys, and markets. You will make your dreams come true or die trying. Very nice. Encrypted shards. You can read collected shards by pressing T when the notification appears. They can also be found in the shards section of your journal. Some shards you find may contain data hidden behind encryption, preventing access from the authorities or nosy edge runners. Select the crack security option to begin decryption. Okay. A lot of these seems like things we're probably going to get tutorials about. Right? I mostly want to read like the lore entries that tell you about the universe. Growl FM is a Dogtown-based underground radio station aimed catering to anti-establishment listeners. Night City authorities have classified the station as pirate radio, regularly confiscating or destroying its illegally installed transmitters. Yet Growl FM always finds a way back to its listeners' ears. The charismatic and uncompromising voice of Growl FM, DJ Ash, speaks to her audience directly and spews nothing but the truth, a claim denied by the station's critics. Once she's researched a story, she doesn't pull any punches, often covering risky stories about corporations, officials, politicians, gang goons, warlords, and ordinary citizens. The news and reports on Growl FM spare no one, because in the world of Growl FM, nobody is untouchable. And let's not forget the music, carefully curated, bold, sometimes surprising, another reason why Growl FM has so many loyal listeners. The Combat Cab. In a city overrun with gang violence, shootings, and cyber psycho attacks, security is at a premium. Anyone traveling to or more likely passing through the city's sketchiest neighborhoods always dial the number for Combat Cab. So it's a taxi that like also has a mercenary, I guess? As detailed on their website, Combat Cab's fleet of heavily armored vehicles can protect passengers from all weapons across the caliber spectrum. The fact that they are the only transportation company operating within areas controlled by gangs such as 6th Street should speak for itself. In recent years, the Delamain cab service has risen to claim the top market share in the heart of the city, but public data terms financed by Combat Cab can still be found. Corporations. I think these are like the big six. Oh, Trauma Team is a corporation. Interesting. Arasaka, Militech, Kangtao, Biotechnica, and Zetatech. In the later half of the 21st century, corporations are international financial behemoths, mega corporations. They have their own political aims, even waging more or less open conflicts against the competition. It's no exaggeration to say that corporations are what shapes the reality and life of an ordinary person. Just take a look around. Every object in your home came off some production line in a factory belonging to one of the megacorps. We're getting dangerously close to that reality, aren't we? Another one delivers electricity to your home so you can watch TV news on a media conglomerate's channel, which in turn has corporations as a majority of its shareholders. Everything you drink, even to a certain extent the air you breathe, it all comes from global concerns. Even if you're blissfully unaware of this, the corporations still influence every aspect of your life. They're at your fingertips. Ah, those fingers are chrome? What manufacturer? Exactly. Netrunners. In 2077, the use of computer technology has become truly universal. Some use a PDA, others personal computers, still others a neural processor. Regular Janes and Joes know how to use these systems to access information, communicate, even fight. But there are others who can use the same tech to work wonders, netrunners. A netrunner knows the ins and outs of computer systems, the programming languages, how to write or mod a killer virus. Deck in hand, they're just as dangerous as a corporate soldier armed to the teeth. Many netrunners are free agents working only for themselves, but a few have signed their own pacts with the megacorps and work to keep corporate data fortresses solid and impenetrable. Today, each and every corporation has a veritable army of netrunners on its payroll. Netrunners were once considered the rulers of cyberspace, using their skulljacks to roam a vast global network. They also needed special suits to cool their bodies, although a tub full of ice would do for any less punks. But this era ended with the cataclysm wrought by the greatest runner of all, Rach Bartmoss. Cyberspace became a land of demons, cut off by the nearly impenetrable black wall. I hope we're gonna get to learn more about this whole cyberspace demon business. What they call demons, I assume it's what, like viruses on like the web? So basically the internet as we know it is kind of dead in Cyberpunk. Because this Rage Bartmoss would hack like the entire internet and made it impossible to access, something like that. The new USA. The original United States of America, divided by bitter internal conflicts and stretched apart by dissident forces.
I love escapist fiction.
Do I need to say anything? Finally collapsed into a potpourri of warring states and sprawling abandoned territories. But when the dust finally settled and disaster became the new normal, the old dreams of unity and national pride were once more united under a new and improved Star-Spangled Banner, behind which stands the new United States of America. Rosalind Myers, the Union's incumbent president, is hell-bent on bringing the rest of the country in line, no matter the cost. Myers' government is supported militarily by Militech, so much so in fact, that it's hard to tell where the state ends and the corporation begins. In that respect, not much has changed. Nomads, which we've read. North California. Since the end of the Unification War, North California has struggled to lead the Free States in their opposition to the USA's agenda for reintegration. As a leader in the worlds of finance and biotech, NorCal maintains one of the largest armed forces of any free state. However, even their substantial might is too little to challenge the federal government in open conflict. Instead, NorCal leadership stations its forces along the border, with the highest concentrations of troops being placed on the border with South California, a state which has declared its allegiance to the USA government. It's weird to imagine the United States as like multiple countries, even though it makes perfect sense, right? Like it's a huge country, and if you look at Europe, each little country, you know, they're all separate, even though they occupy kind of a small area, all things considered, and yet we all consider them separate countries. But when you think of the United States, it's weird to imagine like California and Texas being like different countries. Petrochem. Our planet's moving forward thanks to Petrochem. That commercial slogan is only half exaggerated. Thanks to its partnership with the bioengineering corporation Biotechnica, Petrochem converts genetically modified wheat grown on Biotechnica's millions of acres of farmland into the biofuel of the future. Chew H2? Is that how you say that? Chew H2? In addition, I mean, I guess it's better to use wheat than to use oil? But then they're all like farmland that probably aren't producing food for the people either. So that's kind of bad. In addition, it also has limited rights to grow its own modified grain. That means nobody can entirely avoid Petrochem, though while their influence and resources shouldn't be overstated, their competitors are fully aware of Petrochem's economic and political power. If the mega corporation were able to monopolize fuel production in the country, Petrochem would call the shots on everything. That's why the corp doesn't skimp on its security, hiring the best industry counter-intel specialists and always stationed on high alert. An attack could come from anywhere and at any time. I always find it very interesting when, we always think of big corporations like Google and Amazon and Disney as like a singular entity, like it's like an entity with a name and a face and like almost like a mind of its own, like, oh, Disney did that. Of course it did, like it's a person almost. We really kind of personify these giant corporations, but it's not one person. It's not even a few people. It's like a huge amount of people all working under that umbrella. And like, yeah, you could say, well, it's the board of directors or like it's the president or whatever making the big decisions. But, a corporation is not a thing that physically exists. There's not like a building and you're like, oh, that building, that's Disney. If you destroy this building, Disney doesn't exist anymore. Like in the physical world, they don't exist. It's just the people working for them. And yet they do also have like a huge influence on the world. It's always kind of fascinating to think about how like they control so much of what goes on in our lives and they don't exist physically. They're just the infrastructure and the jobs and the money being exchanged in the market. And like, it's so strange how something so invisible can still affect us, Solo. Soldier, corporate bodyguard, cyber ninja. They can call themselves whatever they want, but to the rest of the world, they're simply solos. Solos are mercenaries who specialize in combat skills, whether on the battlefield or as private hustle. Hired muscle. Oh yeah, of course. They'll fight for corporate or government armies, private security companies, criminal organizations, even the police. But most prefer to earn their eddies on shorter-term jobs. Why do they call them eddies? We live in increasingly trying times, you can say that again. So solos have no shortage of opportunities. It's guaranteed work in a still growing industry, but it does have its dark side. I thought the whole thing was a dark side. What's the good side? Every professional solo needs to keep up with trends in new tech and invest in better equipment, weapons, cyberware, gadgets, and supplements, which will ensure they stay smarter, faster, and stronger than their opponents. I guess we are a solo in this game. But they must also remain vigilant, as this push for progress can cross a line from which there is no return. According to official MaxStack data, solos are the largest demographic in confirmed cyber psychosis cases. Surprising that there's not a cyber psychosis entry here. South California, we've read. Techies. Oh, look at this face. You see a few odd nuts and bolts of scraps and metal. A good techie sees a work of art. You press a button and the device just works. A techie knows why and how to make it work better. Techies are the sort to cut their teeth on tech by taking it apart and putting it back together. They open an electric panel and not only know how to shut off the power, but also send an elevator to a specific floor, reconnect alarm systems, or control a military bot from a safe remote distance. They're also needed wherever hardware meets soft, brain-dense editing being one common example. I think what they call brain dance is kind of like the virtual reality that a lot of people can use. Like we see it in Edge Runners, where like a lot of people use it for porn, of course. Like they put on the helmet and then I guess you're like in this porn scenario that's only happening like in your mind. I think that's brain dance. Techies know it's not enough to have all the ones and zeros in the right place. You need something to feed the code into. They can calibrate implants with ease, understand the pages and pages of minute specifications, and use this knowledge to their advantage. Most people think they don't need a techie, that their once-a-month Ripper Doc tune-ups are more than enough. Then they've got their back against the wall, bombs are exploding next door, and pop, something breaks. Suddenly a techie seems handy indeed. The Unification War, sometimes called the Metal Wars, was a series. Yeah, we've read this. No, it seems a little bit different. It was fought between the USA and the Free States, supported by Militech and Arasaka respectively. The conflict's name differs depending on who you ask. NUSA Militech supporters call it the Unification War, whereas Arasaka Corps and certain Free States have preferred the name Metal Wars. NorCal stood on the side of the Free States, while SoCal stood by the USA. Night City remained independent throughout the conflict. The war was finally concluded by a ceasefire signed in Arvin, SoCal. However, both sides declared victory for themselves and found the terms of peace largely unsatisfactory, causing many to believe the outbreak of another armed conflict is only a matter of time. The free states were obliged to forfeit their independent status, albeit only on paper, as they would remain autonomous in practice. Ultimately, the new USA chose to accept the conditions of this peaceful resolution rather than risk escalation of the war across the globe, resulting in potentially millions of casualties and, more importantly, a deep recession. It's strange that in these dystopian futures, like, the worry is kind of like not nuclear war. Like, you would think that if technology is so advanced, they would also have much more advanced nuclear weapons and like could potentially just obliterate themselves. Like, it's kind of surprising the United States even still exists, is what I'm trying to say at this point, considering they've had so many armed conflicts and wars, and like the fact that it never escalated to the use of weapons that would basically create a fucking nuclear winter on the whole planet is surprising. And also, when you see these like kind of dystopian futures, my first thought is always what's going on elsewhere in the world, you know? You know, when you watch Mad Max and like this, it's the desert and it's the fucking apocalypse. What's going on in like Greenland, you know? What's going on in Italy? What's going on in Japan? Like, is it also a desert? Is it also like a wasteland? Or are things fine elsewhere in the world, you know? Like right now, things are shitty in the United States in this cyberpunk era, but what's going on in other countries? Are things better there? Are things worse there? I wonder if we get to kind of learn about the rest of the world in this game. I'd be curious to hear about it. Arasaka and Militech suffered heavier losses than any other corporation or government body involved in the conflicts. But see, it's like, if you're a part of Arasaka, are you not also an American or like a citizen of your state? Because like these corporations, like they don't own land. I guess they do own land. It's kind of a world where government and corporations are one and the same. So I guess you could be like a Californian, but also an Arasaka employee. Also, can you imagine how much the CEO of these mega corporations are worth? Ugh, don't even want to think about it. Both megacorps lost billions of euro dollars. Euro dollars? Oh, is that why they're eddies? Because they're ED? Eddies in military equipment, and because Militech had their own boots on the ground, they additionally lost the lives of thousands of soldiers whom they staunchly referred to as independent consultants. It's weird that there would even be soldiers in a war like this, you know? Why not send robots? Do you guys not have AI, like drones and things like that to wage war for you? Like, why even send people and risk lives? Wildlife in Night City. Animals are a rare sight in Night City, but it wasn't always like that. Once upon a time, you could hear the cries of seagulls at the marina, swat your way through swarms of flies at the bazaar, and best of all, step in dog shit at the park. Everything changed in the second half of the 21st century when the city was brought to a standstill by animal-borne diseases. In 2051, 7,000 victims. 2059, 10,000. 2061, 12,000. The panicked city council decided to eliminate all birds in the city, while exterminators started using military equipment for traps and fumigation. Ugh. Personal pets could be kept, though owners were saddled with huge tax bills. That is so bleak. That might be the bleakest part of this whole universe so far, is like exterminating all the animals in the city. Also, this game came out in 2020, kind of like during peak pandemic years. But of course, it had been in development for a very long time. So like, I wonder if the pandemic had time to kind of influence the setting or the story. Probably not, right? Because the pandemic happened kind of as it was coming out. So I don't think it really influenced the world itself, but... So there's a lot more here, but it's mostly gameplay stuff, which I think I'm going to be getting tutorials about. And I think it's been enough reading. I think you guys want me to actually play the damn game. So we're going to stop reading. See, I wasn't kidding when I said I like to take my time. I've been recording for like an hour and I haven't done anything yet. I've just been reading this whole time. Alright, so I was gonna say I want to read all of these things. I think it's been enough reading for one episode, so maybe we'll read these like later. I have to assume we're gonna have access to this at a later time. So let's actually play the game. Crash. All right, so what were we saying?
That's fine. Step aside.
What? Got any idea what to do?
I'm thinking.
I'm thinking.
And?
And your chirping is not helping.
I guess I will hotwire it.
I'm gonna bypass the coupling and rig a hot wire.
Compressor will run on and on. It could seize up.
Which I definitely know how to do. I don't want to be mean. I'm a nice person.
Okay, let's see what happens.
So I guess this is my car. Oh, you're gonna look so foolish when I'm right.
Question's how long it'll last you.
It'll get me to Night City. I'll figure something else out there.
I guess so.
Right.
I guess I'm looking for Jackie Wells.
I'm looking for someone. Jackie Wells? Maybe.
I guess he hasn't. Doable? Doable.
So doable? Sure was.
Satisficing that, not a solid fix. Might as well have used spit and duct tape.
It worked. That's what matters.
Antenna on this heap don't seem like it packs a punch. Not liable to hear much.
There's someone
Yeah,
outside. Hello.
Hey, Mike. Didn't know you had a customer.
Oh, it's the sheriff.
Called in a few hours past. I thought she'd at least called in to you.
Don't you sweat it, Mike. We're gonna hash it out.
Hello.
Don't you know you owe the sheriff a word when you pay his town a visit? To tell him what's brought you here. Maybe even over a cup of coffee.
I'm just passing through.
No need to worry, I won't be staying long.
Didn't answer my question now, did you? Name's Andrew Jones. Probably heard of me.
I can't
Nope.
say that I have.
Served in Spec Ops during the last war. Silver Shoguns? Ring any bells?
Afraid not.
I can't say that it does.
Don't like to get along, do ya?
I'm just being honest. I haven't heard from you.
That a nomad vehicle? Might have expected that.
Do you have a problem with nomads? I'm just gonna be on my way.
I'll just fix it up and go. I have no reason to linger.
No, you sure shit don't. Nothing.
He's got
boils
cyberware in
my
his
blood
fingers.
like a fucking string. Where'd your clan pitch camp?
What's wrong with nomads?
Are you one of those who believe everything the talking heads say? That nomads are the world's greatest evil?
No. I'm a man that respects order. Corpse brought us that order, and I intend for it to stay that way.
The corps pay you and have you on a leash like a dog, you know that?
But you don't want to see me bare my fangs. So I'll ask again.
Oh, he's a fucking bootlicker.
Where's your clan?
I'm alone.
There's no clan. There's no camp. I'm here alone.
Ain't buying it. Nomads always stick to their packs.
Well, not this
My
one.
family's in pieces. That's why I'm headed for Night City.
Makes you an outcast among outcasts. Sure as hell hope you'll be on your way before long.
He actually wears a watch. That's so funny. You're a real hospitable bunch.
I heard this place was famous for its hospitality. Glad to see it wasn't just rumors.
You are damn right we are. When people come along who know how to behave.
I've been behaving great this whole time. I don't know what your deal is.
I saw a broadcasting comms tower on my way in. My antenna's down and I need to radio someone.
What you need's to hightail it out of here without another word.
Well, I was gonna do
Got
that.
no mind to see you drifting around these parts. Got it?
I don't want any trouble, I guess.
I've made it clear. I don't want any trouble.
Then stop looking for it and hit the road, quick.
I was gonna leave before you came here, so fuck you. Woo, here we are. Okay, I'm gonna have to figure out these controls. Active job objectives are marked with on your HUD, yeah. Can I can exit, okay. Is he still in there? Oh, he's gone. Where is that damn mechanic? You couldn't have like supported me there? Oh, there you are. Night City Journal, corporate mogul Antonio Lucchesi dead at 142? God damn, another Valentino foray in Pacifica. What's that we got here? Twinktopia? I want a taste of that. Big muscle secrets. Stress less, more sex. Alright. I'm not here to judge. In the shadows of mega building. So I can take it or just read it? One could say we're living in stable times. The Fourth Corporate War is ancient history, the Unification War is over and done with, and Night City is a free city, a jewel embedded between two Californias. Living here, you might have the impression that everything is okay in the world. I did not have that impression for a second. But look around. The world is not okay. Despite technological recession between 2020 and 2040, reducing global pollution levels, I guess that's a good thing. Humanity is still facing monumental existential threats. Climate change has turned into climate disaster. Who could have predicted this?
I love escapist fiction.
Its effects are irreversible and dangerously unpredictable. Hurricanes, tornadoes, droughts, floods. You know, if only we were warned about this, like in time where we could have done something. It's really a shame. Natural catastrophes are growing in strength and frequency across the continent, leveling entire regions. Access to clean water is becoming increasingly more scarce, as well as fertile land. Hunger and starvation still reaps a bloody human harvest in Asia and Africa, where corporations had no interest in building vertical hydroponic farms. Meanwhile, advances in cyber modification have given rise to a new problem, cyber psychosis. And though we've been aware of cyber psychosis for over half a century, and know that incidents of cyber psychosis, I hope I'm not gonna have to say that word 20 times, that's a mouthful, are inextricably linked to a person's level of implantation, we still do not know why some are more prone to carrying out violent attacks than others. It's weird that cyberware is so advanced, but it seems like they don't really have like the knowledge or the means to stop cyber psychosis. Like, you think at this point, if we can like plug ourselves into computers and implant cyberware in your brain, we would have fully mapped the human brain, could like completely control this stuff, but apparently not. Let's not also forget the more serious issue of mass inequality, record high crime rates, including in places like Night City, and social unrest linked to immigration in almost every corner of the world. So I ask you again, look around. You see all of these problems in Night City already. Maybe you're standing in the shadow of a mega building and you think, Night City is Night City. The rest of the world's problems don't affect me, right? Right? You would be a fucking idiot to think that. Oh man. It's gonna take me forever to play this game because I'm gonna want to be looking at like everything. Real man smell. $5. I don't know how much money I have. Where can I see? Oh, I have $300. Okay. Well, then I can get a little snack as a treat. Give me a snack. Where is it? Where's my snack? Pop me?
It die on you after all.
God Damn it, I paid for a snack and I didn't get it. That's bullshit. Well, I'm gonna steal your drink. How about that? Hey, man.
It die on you after all.
No, it didn't. It's right outside. Hopefully, no one's gonna steal it. I probably shouldn't just leave it out on the road like that. Let me just... There we go. Is this sheriff gonna come back if I don't leave, like, right away? Oh, man, this looks so cool! That looks very cool. Auto parts, car service. Oh, he's still there. Watch out, you're getting shot by the skid. Yeah, get him. Get him. Same. That's what I want to do.
I told you to disappear. Now don't test my patience.
Yeah, I'm gonna leave soon. Pretty soon, maybe. What's up?
Don't cross the sheriff. Better off doing what he says.
Or what? He's gonna attack me? Go to the telecom tower. Maybe I want to get a little snack at this diner. It's weird, like even the people out here in the desert, you know, where everything would be very analog, they still also have cyberware. It's really like everyone in the world. That's crazy. So I couldn't like say steal this car, right? If I wanted. Pure overkill. I wonder if I'm on a timer, like past a certain amount of time, he's just gonna be like, all right, you've outlasted your welcome. Get the fuck out. Hey guys, what's good? No? Nothing? You don't want to talk to me?
Do I know you? Well?
No, I guess not. And you won't. Die. So can I get in here? Nope.
So there we are, and the 6th Street jarheads walk in, 5 of them.
Shit, they found you?
Fuck knows if they were looking or if it was just a coincidence.
What happened?
We hauled ass out through the kitchen. Wouldn't be here otherwise.
That's crazy, dude. Can't talk to you, though. Breaking into vehicles. You can bypass the locks of parked vehicles if you meet the technical ability attribute requirement. But remember, you probably shouldn't. Hello, sir. We have the same hairstyle. Yo, same
Could
hair.
always be worse.
I want to say right away, this is very impressive to have like different body types in this game. I don't think I've ever seen an open world game that just had like a bigger person in it. Like it's always everyone has the exact same body type. So right away, this is impressive. Hello.
Watch your own self.
Hi, jeez. You are not very welcoming around here, are you? Hey, man. You grilling some, what is that? What kind of meat is that? You want to share some of that with me?
I've had the pleasure.
Not yet. But maybe if you play your cards right, you might. Yeah, this is a very, very small town. Yo, what's going on here? Damn, just straight up missing both arms. I mean, I guess he's not missing them. Everyone's got like cool implants and stuff. I guess you guys are just playing cards.
Yes?
You're just watching this very intently. I guess there's a lot of stake in this game. But no one really cares about me. You also grilling some rat meat? Wicked Tires Auto Shop. Oh. Nomads for the thick-skinned. Okay, the matter's simple. Whatever you read or hear about the nomads in the city media doesn't hold an ounce of water. The biggest lie bandied around is that being a nomad is a job. It's not. Nomadism is a lifestyle. See, if you want to know something about nomads, all you have to do is ask one yourself. Luckily, I already know the questions because I've been asked them 1,000 times. So let's get started, shall we? Why did the nomads organize themselves? Well, why not unite millions of people roaming around the country? Besides, if you know what you're looking for, you'll instantly know which clan a nomad belongs to. Which brings us to our next point. Nomads are divided into nations. So you have people in America, like Americans, and then you have people, say, Californians, and then within that you have nomads, and then the nomads are each in a clan, and then each clan is also in a family. Like, people love to kind of divide themselves into different groups. You recognize them from their colors, their jackets, and the decals on their cars and bikes. By the way, nomads take their affiliation seriously, so unless you want a broken jaw, I'd advise you do the same. You'll be eating dirt or worse if you get nomads and Raffins mixed up. Remember, Raff and Shiv are not nomads. They're pariahs, outcasts, criminals who were either exiled from their clan for doing something truly effed up, or just ordinary city criminals on the run. Raffins form packs not because it's convenient, but because they don't have a choice. And also it's convenient. Nobody in their right mind would work with them unless they somehow fit in your plans. Mostly they rob and pillage. Don't ask me where the name Raffin Shiv comes from. All I know is that apparently it means something really dirty. Nomads take on all kinds of jobs. Everybody has to eat, right? What kinds of jobs they take depends on the clan or family's particular strategy. Some pick crops in agrocorp fields, others deal with corp shipments or protect their convoys. If you want to vanish off your pissed off creditors or shareholders' radar, the nomads will take you so far into the boonies you'll be shitting next to scorpions. Okay. You pay, they do the job, you shake hands, and everyone goes their separate ways. Get it now? If you want more specifics, just grow a pair and talk to a real nomad. Good luck. How am I gonna make sure I don't miss any of these little... Yeah, it's a very small town. Damn. How will I know I don't miss any of these little... like data log things? Because I don't want to miss any. I want to learn about this world. Oh, you can zoom in. Should have been doing that. I could break in. Like, I want to say I look way too good to be out here in the wasteland. Like, you know, I look like a model. But then again, this is a future where you can kind of like change your appearance. So who's to say I haven't had like a bunch of plastic surgery, or like, who's to say everyone hasn't had some kind of plastic surgery just to look different? Because why wouldn't you in this world? Looking for a career change? Join Netwatch. Tracking down Netrunner renegades, combating demons, rebuilding the American net. These are just some of the daily tasks entrusted to the special agents at Netwatch. If you'd rather lose your eyes than your deck, if an encounter with Mephistopheles is just another walk in the park for you, then maybe it's time you joined our team. Here's what you can expect to contribute as a Netwatch agent. Patrolling all public access levels of the net, tracking and eradicating illegal Netrunner activity, hunting down dangerous rogue AI, exploring and neutralizing threats in the oldest parts of the deep net, prohibiting the movement of people and AI across the Black Wall, assisting in the expansion of secure net space for public use. Thanks to Netwatch, thousands of people can freely use approved search engines and other net services without fear of falling victim to nefarious demon threats. 24 hours a day, 365 days a year, we serve tirelessly to eliminate corrupted data forts, safeguard our information, and arrest dangerous cyber criminals. Another thing that's wild to me is, like, in this future where you have rogue AIs, like plural, as in there's multiple rogue AI out there, how is it not Terminator level apocalypse going on? You know, how is it not that everyone has been infected by an AI? Like, especially if everyone has an access point to their brain, to their neural chip or whatever, like you would only need one AI to go rogue, infect the entire system, and then like everyone gets fucking killed. But I guess it hasn't happened yet because the technology doesn't allow for it somehow. Do even the kids have cyberware? Not, doesn't seem like it. They don't want to talk to me though. It's probably smart. Don't talk to strangers. Are you throwing rocks at this car? Whose car is this? Yeah, no, oh, this guy. It's a mask. I don't think it's cyberware. Well, his eyes. His eyes are cyberware. I guess that's a very, very, like, basic kind of modification you can get is your eyes. Whose car is this and why are you throwing rocks at it? Filtered rainwater. There's like a lot more people than houses. Also, where do you guys live? Keep it up, dude. Oh, sorry. Am I making this awkward for you? There you go. Yeah, I have to applaud CD Projekt Red on having like different body types in this game. That's very cool. Relive it. Braindance Quarterly. Braindance editors have long strived to strike a balance between real lived experience and technological experiential purity. The more heavily processed the material, the more abstract the pathways, the clearer the Braindance recording. These fundamental elements of design have guided editors since their first wave of brain-to-brain experience sharing technology took hold. In their pursuit of balance, however, editors have clearly shown a bias for purity over naturalism over the years, even going so far to use it as a point of pride in the quality of their production. I guess it's not so much virtual reality as it is you kind of witness someone else's memories. So you could just like have sex with a porn star and then like you just record that and then everyone can pay money to kind of like relive your experience in the brain dance. I mean, I can see why there would be a market for that, but like in the Edge Runners show in the first episode, David is kind of reliving an assault on this cyber psycho. Like, I'm not sure why you wouldn't want to relive that, I guess for the thrill of being in this very intense situation, but in the industry's latest push for greater purity, has the purpose of the technology already been forgotten? Will we not find ourselves processing and filtering a braindance recording to the point that the emotional experience no longer extends beyond what we receive from film, television, and video games? I mean, you will get diminishing returns from experiencing anything, you know? The first time you play a great game, you're like mind blown. After a few times, you kind of get used to it. Like if you watch 100 horror films, of course they're not going to hit the same after you've seen so many of them. You always get diminishing returns from doing anything for a long time. After reliving some of the latest titles on my feeder unit, this once academic question now feels all too inevitable with the industry's current trajectory. For a moment, let's consider why some reports suggest more and more users are searching for unlicensed titles on the black market, so-called black braindances, extreme braindances, or XBDs. Are we so sure it's the illicit content they are after? Or maybe the real draw is the residual grit we editors try so hard to remove, distracting thoughts, irrelevant memories, loose associative threads, emotions stretching beyond the desired spectrum. So you have brain dances, but of course you have brain dance editors, whose job it is to kind of like curate and modify it for consumption. And of course this would get kind of standardized and normalized to a point where someone like this has to be like, have we maybe standardized things too much where like people are looking for more extreme versions of it? What if this noise is not so superfluous as we believe it to be? What if these peripheral experiences hold the potential to elevate a good brain dance to an exquisite one? We do ourselves a disservice by not exploring these questions before our blind crusade for brain-dense purity leads this industry straight into the bin of obsolete flash-in-the-pan technology. Yeah, as time passes with any media, there always inevitably seems to be kind of a push for purity, you know, for things to be very sanitized. Like we saw it with books, we see it with video games, we see it with movies. Like society goes through kind of phases where like we want the sexual liberation and like more sex and violence and crazy stuff, and then eventually like there's a pushback against these things where like we want to kind of, okay, maybe we shouldn't have sex in movies, maybe we should have less violence, and then like it kind of goes in phases. Just kind of the way of things. Relive It, the quarterly magazine for braindense editors, amateurs, and enthusiasts, December 2076. Very interesting. I can run very fast by default. Just taking a look around in case I find something interesting. I feel like this is a game that will definitely reward exploration. What are you doing back here? Just chilling on your little iPad? Another thing about my playthroughs, if this is your first time on the channel, is they are edited down quite a bit. Like, if I like run around for 5 minutes and nothing happens and like I don't say anything and there's nothing interesting to see, I will edit it out because I want to keep like, you know, the playthrough interesting for you guys. But of course I'm very careful to not cut out anything that could be like interesting or relevant, so don't worry. I've kind of perfected the art, I think, over time. Hello. You guys love to grill these little fucking what is that, souvlaki? Rat souvlaki? I guess we've kind of seen everything there is to see. Would there be animals out here compared to, oh, the wall? Why does a wall separate South California from its northern sibling? USA officials will tell you it's about ensuring freedom and safety. After all, the first things that come to people's minds when they hear North California are shifty, nomad families, illegal immigrants, and violent criminals of every stripe. The more things change, the more they stay the same. They'll say the wall is necessary for customs officers to prevent smuggling, and we're not just talking drugs. Markets on the rise for trafficking include illegal cyberware assembled in old hangars, biotech equipment, and precious items from orbital stations and lunar colonies. So we do have colonies on the moon. And I understand that. I can even understand that when you cross the border, you willingly waive your right to privacy, from having your face scanned and registered to your car being tracked by heavily armed drones that transmit your real-time coordinates to a rapid response defense system in orbit, all on the off chance you're in fact a terrorist. Or the split second that you go through the security gates, Militech or whoever won the bid to secure the wall won't allow you to forget that you're in a potential war zone. And that's exactly what the wall is, a reminder. A reminder of how fragile peace and the independence of our city is. As a night citizen, I see the wall relatively frequently. Thanks to that concrete monstrosity, there's really no other way to describe it, I always bear the cost of peace in mind. Is that good? Bad? You decide for yourselves. Indeed. Oh, your grill is broken. Here is, I guess, a motel. Fellas?
Light on your toes there. Forward and back. Boxing is doing the thinking with your feet. Hop, throw, jump back. Jump in, thrash, bam, bam, and guard up. Feint, dodge, low and balanced.
It's interesting the decision to have the subtitles over the character and not at the bottom of the screen, and like it does make it so you're not always staring at the bottom of your screen, which is nice, and it also kind of shows you very clearly who is talking. Maybe they did that because they found the screen would be too busy otherwise. I'm not sure. Someone threw away a perfectly good hamburger and then half a hamburger, another one. What a waste of food. Can you guys really afford to waste so much food? Hello. And all these doors are closed. Glam Now, the mag for those who love this for themselves. Heard about the latest and greatest braindance diet? Our prediction, 2078's hottest new trend. Beady diet advocate and world-beloved fashionista Amber Daisy is no stranger to us at Glam. In an exclusive interview, she shared her secrets and stories about the journey her body has been on. Amber has been keeping her intake of synth and organic products to a bare minimum over the past several months, and instead only experiences her meals through BDs. Huh? So she's only eating through brain dance? How does that work? With a properly tuned BD, Amber says she dives in with a growling stomach but comes out of Virtue feeling like she just finished binging at a banquet. Can we hope to see Amber back in America to promote this latest craze? We're keeping our fingers crossed. Bad news for all of you Carrie Eurodyne fans. The Rocker Boys nude stills that leaked to the net a few days back turned out to be fake. Shot by some poser boys from the Diltons. The star's manager confirmed. The obvious giveaways, he said, were some fudged details of Carrie's iconic Filipino tattoos and some teeny tiny anatomical differences. Interesting. Like, we already have deepfakes now. Imagine deepfakes in the future. Ugh. Hello. Nice hat. So you guys be boxing out here? Is this machine gonna work better than the one in the fucking $12? Alright, I'll bite. Give me... There we go. Burrito XXL Turquesa. Applies the nourishment status plus 5 max health. A burrito to die for. Seriously. Cool. Hello. Explosion in Zetatech lab. 31 dead. All night, every night. Vargas. Smoking increases your risk of developing cancer. Still? You guys really haven't figured out cancer yet? It's the future. What are you waiting for? How is cancer still a thing? Not a bad farm, but like you're doing this in your flip-flops? With your big toes hanging out? What the hell kind of shoes are these? You know, the one thing about these games is the tattoos are so bad, and like I can't really fault them for that because in real life people also have very bad tattoos, so I guess it's accurate. I guess it's realistic, but damn. Alright, I think I've probably seen most of what there is to see. Hopefully I didn't miss... NDA. What do you mean I looted an NDA? Can I not read it? I guess not. Also, in the thing it said they exterminated all the animals, and like you used to be able to go through a cloud of flies. Are you saying there's no flies in Night City? Like, how would that even work? You can't... I get exterminating all birds, but you can't stop flies from existing. Right? Alright, well, I guess it's finally time for us to get out of here. You're gonna be happy? I'm gonna leave. That's what you wanted, right? Bitch. Alright, so let's go to... So do all nomads have their own cars? I guess they would need to be able to travel the wasteland. Ooh. Oh man, these controls are something. Okay. Like this turns so... It almost turns like too easily. Yucca Telecom Tower. Okay. Oh, we really didn't go very far. So we can kick the gate. Or I guess I could try and find a way to like climb over it. God damn, you run so fast. Doesn't really look like there's any opening outside. Maybe if I park my car here and then I jump on top of my car and I jump on top of the thing. Do you think it would allow that? Well, maybe. Maybe. Let me try that. What if I just... How about I just jump? Alright, well, I kinda hit my ass on the thing, but we got through. And that way I didn't have to kick the door. Maybe I can open it from the back. See? I'm smart? Question mark? Oh, it might have been simpler to just climb here actually, but oh well. So I'm looking to, what, repair the radio, climb the telecom tower, locate the control box, because I'm not getting any reception, I guess. Ooh. A rosary. They look well loved. Huh. So we're gonna find all kinds of junk, it seems. And where would I see that? So these are my clothing. There's my burrito. I guess they all come in like a little package, right? It's like astronaut food. Wait, did I use that? Oh shit, I didn't mean to click it. Subtle metallic aftertaste. Filtered rainwater, real water. Soy paste. Oh, so it's like liquid tofu, basically. Essential nutrients, the quicker the better. Dude, I would totally just eat that. I think a lot of us would love to eat just like a nutrient paste that gave you like everything you need, so you don't have to worry about what are we gonna eat tonight? What are we gonna eat tonight? What are we gonna eat tonight? Like every day is the same bullshit. So this NDA is just an item that was on the ground, and it's worth $3 for some reason. A standard document that prohibits a lot and offers little in return. Huh. And this is all items, okay. Okay. Cool. It does seem like they highlight items from pretty far away, so you don't need to be too worried about... Wait, what? Why is there a timer of 7 minutes going down in the top left? What's going on in 7 minutes? Oh, I think it's just the hydration thing. Right. So you get the hydration thing for 7 minutes. Let's climb. I almost wish you could run not as fast. Like the run is very fast. What's all this shit over here? Ooh, hello. A Naranjita Zero. No calories, no regret. Some munchies? For when you're sky high. Oh. Someone came here and had a little picnic with their friend, maybe? So we should be able to see Night City in the distance, right? I guess it's that over there. Huh. And where's that wall? Can we see the wall from here? Probably not. Taking photos. Ooh, to access photo mode, hold N. Photo mode can be disabled in settings. Oh, that's me. That's me. Looking pretty cool. I do look naked without any tattoos, but maybe once we have our cyberware, you know, on our arms, it's gonna look pretty cool. So this is cool that we get a photo mode that might help me for the thumbnails, maybe. I'm not really the best at using photo modes, but oh, there's a car over there. Interesting. Now, who would that be? Are there like random events happening in the world, or is this supposed to happen? Also, they just disappeared. He's gonna rip that open? God damn, V. Connect to radio station. Yes. Okay, be gentle with this stuff. Jesus.
Hello?
Come in. Come in. Ah, raised you finally.
Willie McCoy. It's good to hear your voice.
Fee. Wish I could say the same.
Then why don't you?
Why can't you?
You abandoned the clan. I can't help you anymore.
Never knew you to be so cautious.
Try loyal. Rules are rules. The system won't work without him. It can't. Nomads get the work in these parts because it's nomad turf. Wouldn't be a problem if you're still a backer.
A backer.
Should have stuck with them and joined up with the Snake Nation like the rest.
The Snake Nation can kiss my ass.
Okay, so V here already has a bit of history. It sounds like she didn't want to join this nation because maybe we'll learn more about this later.
I need your help. One last time.
One last time. Again?
I have to find the client with my payload, but I don't know where he is.
Right place, right time. You were there?
My car broke down, or of course, I guess my car broke down?
My car gave out. The electric coupling, it's a miracle I made it here. Maybe the client left a message. Could you check for me?
Sure. Last time, though. I mean it. Client's name?
Jackie Wells.
Wells.
Huh. Actually left a message. He's waiting on a farm. Flicking you the geoloc data.
Thanks, man.
Thanks, Willie. I owe you one.
You do. Just don't get yourself killed. And don't call again.
Stop leaning. So we kind of asked him to betray the clan, I guess. He's not supposed to help us. Well, then it's very nice that he did. I guess we're old friends, but not so much anymore. Like, are these nomads so rigid about, like, you have to stick to your clan, and can you not help, like, anyone else? Or can you not... They sound very insulated within their own clan. Yeah, I was wondering if you could, like, get in the driver's seat from the side. Head to the meeting place, alright. Whoa! Okay, wait, can I... Maybe this controls a little better from inside? I think my car is busted, that's the problem. Night City! Ugh. Okay, I'm gonna have to get better at driving this thing. Hopefully there's not too much driving to do in the city itself, but I think there might be. But also, my car is like totally busted, it seems. Like you keep hearing it stuttering. keep out, this says. Is this where Jackie is? Head to the meeting place. Is there a Jackie here?
Hello, I'm Jillian Jordan. Welcome to the World Report on N54 News. The Western corporate states recently announced a new visa program.
Good day.
Persons intending to relocate there must first find a sponsor from among WCS-affiliated companies. Following a 20-year employment period within the WCS, visa holders can earn the right to permanent residence, a marriage license, and a single-child permit. In Northern Europe, the humanitarian crisis has worsened. Refugees from flooded regions in Belgium and the Netherlands continue.
Of course, there would be flooding because of climate change.
Have responded with force, sinking over a dozen refugee vessels in recent weeks. Despite humanitarian efforts, nearly 60 people have been killed. Have we found heaven on Earth? Permanent human settlement on Antarctica is celebrating 10 years.
How's that going?
A wealth of natural resources hidden under the ice has spurred on the continent's rapid economic
Okay, good for them.
Though some environmental degradation has occurred as a result,
Of course.
inhabitants of the South Pole are still enjoying life as Antarctica's first dollhouse.
A dollhouse? What is that? Like a brothel?
Perhaps most appealing to locals and newcomers alike is the astonishingly low crime level. Antarcticans enjoy a murder rate of only 70 per 100,000 residents.
Is that low?
Thanks for watching N54 News. We'll see you next time.
I guess for 2077 it's considered low because it's so bad everywhere else, but that sounds pretty high. 70 per 100,000? Nicola Sakura, for when love isn't enough. So there we are, we get to learn a little bit more about what's happening in the rest of the world, and it sounds like it's not so peachy elsewhere either. Like Europe is dealing with a refugee problem.
Oh, I was worried I'd have
Hello.
to turn to farming. Sure hope you're here for me.
I am if you are Jackie.
You Wells?
And Jackie, por favor.
I'm V. Seems you have cargo that needs to be moved.
Oh, where I'm from, you share a bit about your soul before you talk biz. Eh? It's kind of like a custom. Or just good manners, you know?
I mean, can you do that without holding a gun? I mean, I guess it's normal in these situations for everyone to be armed because, like, you never know who you're dealing with, but it makes me a little bit uneasy that you got a gun.
Gonna be long?
You're a man of principle?
You're a man of principle.
You need a backbone, chica. At least you'll have that left when they've taken everything else.
Oh, they can take my backbone too, I'm pretty sure.
Why don't we start with you then?
NC native right here. Got Haywood in my blood.
Never been to NC. That doesn't mean much to me.
So, imagine a place where everyone's like your bro or sis. Or a distant cousin, at least.
I think I understand. You don't have to like each other, but it's family.
That's Haywood. That and everyone's back in iron.
Who isn't?
And you?
I guess you could say I'm from my own Haywood.
You and me, we're gonna get along fine. Cargo.
Do I even want to know what's inside?
What's inside?
Sleep better the less you know. Got no idea myself, and that's a good thing.
You don't know what we aim to smuggle. These are stolen corporate goods.
Stolen?
It's probably better not to know.
Some gonk lost the crate. Some other gonk found it, passed it on. Now it's here. You know, butterfly effect or whatever.
I don't think you're using that right.
Ain't no problem if they look. Only a problem if they find it before it crosses the border, no?
I guess so. I mean, this is my job, so I'm sure I've done this before.
A huevo.
That occurred just outside Novosibirsk in southern Siberia has
Alright, good thing you're carrying it. That looks pretty heavy.
Started thinking you might not come.
I got held up. And you weren't exactly easy to find.
I decided to lay low, you know? The sheriff looked like one grouchy motherfucker.
Yep.
Yeah, he does. The first nomad code. Protect and respect your clan and especially your family. You are worth as much as your word. Share with others in your clan. Respect the privacy and well-being of your clan. Never put your clan in danger. Always take honest pay for honest work. That was the first nomad code. What about the new nomad code? Protect your family and clan in that order. Do not steal from anyone in your clan. Do not keep for yourself that which may help another in your clan. Okay. It's hard to imagine a group less inclined to wandering than farmers, but in fact, they were the people who dawned the age of nomads. Natural catastrophes, crops ravaged by bioplagues, armed conflicts and martial law allowing corporations to speculate and privatize land, all this forced them into a life on the road. The first clans recognized as nomadic were the Aldecaldos and the Jodes, followed shortly after by Snake Nation, Thelas Nation, Folk Nation, Blood Nation, and Metacorp, a total of 7 nations.
Fresh water for 2 weeks.
Oh, let me get that for you. So where am I taking this?
What a fat ass.
In Night City, I guess? Oh, you coming with me? Alright.
So, we headed out?
I guess so. Drive to the border. Ooh. He's gonna be like, are you sure you've done this before? Your driving is really bad. Sorry, dude.
Do you have the manifest from the transport?
Of course I do. The fixer didn't give you the job deeds?
Apparently not.
He did. I was just making sure.
Oh. Okay. I was testing you.
We're both professionals, ain't we?
Sure.
Hey, you, sure you've moved contraband before?
Why? Are you nervous?
Me? Well, maybe a little.
So have you not done this before? Because I'm kind of counting on you here. I haven't done this. Buck a slice. Damn, like smoking cars and like helicopters. Things seem very bad around here. Hello. Got a bunch of soldiers.
Border crossing up ahead. What now?
Nothing. They'll scan us and check our papers.
I mean, they're probably gonna check our cargo also, right? Is this the giant wall that we're talking about? Doesn't seem that high. Border crossing. Nothing to declare. Customs declaration. Pre-check lane. And now we wait.
Please direct your vehicle to the inspection area. Remain in your vehicle. The security check will begin shortly.
I got a real bad feeling about this.
Calm down.
You know they'll notice if you're nervous, right? You've
just
got
chill.
to calm down.
Right, yeah.
Act like you belong here.
Hand me the manifest. They'll need to see it.
Grab these.
Let me see.
Lost on arrival. Customs
Marked LOA.
check.
Perfect.
What's that mean?
Lost on arrival. Means the cargo was flagged as to be lost as soon as it crossed the border.
Oh, so they know we're smuggling.
Well, they're about to find out.
Okay.
The owner of the vehicle in the inspection area will report for further questioning.
Chingada madre. What now?
This is how it works.
Relax. It's all in line with procedures. It's all part of the plan.
Hey, guess you know what you're doing, huh?
If we want the customs officer to turn a blind eye to our dubious docks, we'll need a sweetener. Do you have the credit chip with the bribe?
Oh, yeah. Forgot about that.
Right. You forgot.
How much is on there? Is this really how it always goes? Like you just
running.
bribe
In case of a
people?
cock up.
Do that.
1,000, okay. Hello, sir. Who wants to talk to me?
Hands on your head! Hit the ground, flat on your gut! Only saying this once! What are
Proceed to customs without undue delay.
On the ground! That's not negotiable!
Oh, didn't go so well for these guys. Let's hope it goes better for us.
If you're armed, place your weapon here.
I don't know, I kind of want to keep my gun on me. Oh, there's a map of the new United States. So the new United States is all on the right. Then you have the Pacific Confederation, the Western States, the Republic of Texas. Of course, they're by themselves. And then Night City right there on the edge on the left. Deposit. Okay, I don't have a choice but to put my weapons at the front desk. Oh man, where'd you get those fries? Can I get some?
Don't wait a microsecond longer. Send space to 7299 right now. The Crystal Palace.
Oh, what happened to your glass there? A little incident? Medical certificate, student pilot certificate. Medical lists. Guns. There's so much detail in the environment. Like, it's gonna take me a while to do this game just because I'm always gonna be looking at like every little detail. Alright, I took a quick break just to go eat some food. I am ready to continue. So I guess we don't have a choice but to deposit our weapons. So, hello. There's my one gun. That's all I have. You don't seem to have that much protection.
Now please report to room number 2.
Alright, room number 2. Is all this necessary? Like, I'm just coming through with my car, that's it.
Please sit.
Oh, this is worrying. Yes.
Papers.
Is this routine? I know the drill. I guess I've come through many times. Have I come through many times?
Hand them over.
I know
Sorry.
the rules. Everything's there.
It might be, it might not be. We'll see.
You don't look very official with your little cap there and your little t-shirt.
What are you transporting?
It's all in there.
Whatever is written there, that's what I'm transporting.
Everything?
Is anything wrong?
If anything's wrong, just say so. I'm sure we can figure it out.
I haven't said anything yet. The question is, should I expect to find anything out of order?
Okay, well, I don't have a choice here. I have to give him a bribe, so alright.
There's one additional enclosure to the manifest.
I would never bribe someone because, like, what if that doesn't work, you know?
Ah, yes. Remind me, you drive for which nomad clan?
No clan.
None. No clan. I drive for myself.
Bold. And none too wise. You know, whenever I see someone like you, I'm oh so grateful not to be on that side of the table.
Sure.
Go on.
Not looking for trouble.
Your associate's waiting for you in the car.
Okay, good. So we're all good then? No problem. That just cost me
Take
$1,000.
your personal items.
Yeah, my gun. Where's my gun?
Be careful with that toy. And welcome to Night City.
What you calling a
Those little
toy?
shits imagine Night City is some kind of paradise.
What can you do? Young, naive, which is just a euphemism for ignorant.
How old am I actually? I look maybe like 25 or something. Hey Jackie, I think everything's fine.
I'll tell you soon. We need to get out of here.
Why are you driving?
Okay.
I guess we're okay then. Okay, we're good. They're letting us through. Next stop,
You're gonna tell me what happened back there?
Night City. I have a sneaky feeling.
Let's say I have a bad feeling about this.
Oh. Happened a lot to you?
Rarely.
Smelling trouble around the bend?
Drive, Jackie, just drive.
Maybe. I mean, they could have just arrested us right there if they wanted, right?
Someone's coming our way. This does not look good.
Stop your vehicle immediately.
Let's get out of here.
On it!
Oh,
Transporting contraband that is corporate property.
how do they know?
Stop the car.
Why didn't they just stop us at the border? Oh shit. Oh shit. Sorry. Sorry. I don't see anyone. Do I have infinite bullets here? I think I have infinite bullets. This is bad. Like, we're just getting to the city and I'm already killing for these like corporate officers, police.
Gotta keep moving!
Well, you're driving, so
Ah, those pendejos are stubborn!
already got a body count. Not even in the city yet.
Mierda. Close call.
Thanks, Jackie.
We lost him.
Are you sure?
Hey, Sus. Not sure my nerves can handle this.
Keep driving. We can't stop here.
I mean, we're past the border, so I guess.
Gonna stop here. Need to sort out a few things before we go on.
Would it really be deserted this close to Night City?
Hijo de la chingada madre! I almost tagged our asses. That what you call smuggling? Chingado! Was supposed to go smooth. No problems.
You think this is my fault?
If you think this is my fault, at least have the balls to say so.
I don't know yet. Is it?
Border security
don't
tipped
think
off
so.
the corporation that we have their cargo.
What's the deal with these borderlies flipping us the finger as they fucking please? With no consequences.
He took a risk. He assumed we didn't have a clan backing us, and he was right.
Pendejamente ridículo. So what now?
I mean, this is your job, you tell me.
I could ask you the same question. Will you keep whining, or will we put a bow on this thing?
I ain't gonna lie. I'm a bit light. Can't pay you now. I have something for you once I collect my scrap for this corpo crap we're carrying.
Oh, and you just figured I would sit by patiently?
Actually, I wasn't gonna pay you at all. I was just gonna bust ass and disappear as soon as we crossed over.
Oh, well,
You're all right.
at least you're honest. I guess.
I appreciate the honesty.
Thanks.
So what's next?
Now we take a peek inside.
Oh, now you're curious. Are you sure you wouldn't rather not know? Like, the more we know, the more we're in danger. Who are we carrying this for? Like, who's your employer?
I don't know if your client's gonna be happy getting an open package. Usually means trouble.
Fuck the client. You gotta start working for yourself sometime. No commission, no middlemen. And I need to know what I'm selling if I'm gonna try to find a new buyer.
I guess so. It's really weird for me to be playing these games because if I was just acting like my natural self, I don't want any trouble ever. So like I would never get myself in these situations, but these games are all about adventures and crazy shit, so you have to kind of play along. All right, let's take a look, I guess.
Shit. Says Arasaka on the crate. We are robbing some heavy hitters.
And maybe we'll make some heavy money.
What? Is that a fucking lizard?
A real iguana. A lesser Antillean, I think.
Is it alive?
Lesser Antil what?
Yeah, I watched a thing on TV about them. Went extinct like 30 years ago. They're from the Lesser Antilles. You come a long way, my scaly friend.
Is it alive?
Think you can make some money on it?
Sure. Think it'll make us happy.
Us?
Yeah, partner. We'll go halfsies. Any decent fixer will find a loaded gonk interested in a rare gem like this. It's kind of a shame, though. I always wanted a pet. Got the name Manny all thought out. Hey, by the way, you, got any plans for what you'll be doing in Night City?
I guess no.
Why do you ask?
Because I got this feeling you got a lot of time and nothing to spend it on. And NC ain't a city that lets you get by without buddies. But don't you worry. Let me help you find digs. You gotta live somewhere. It's important to have people you can turn to. You know, like, family. Maybe you'll find your own down in Night City.
I mean, you were going to like abandon me after this job until like 5 minutes ago. So I don't know how much I can really trust you, but he is friendly enough, I guess. Well, we are all by ourselves. Our whole life we've been relying on the clan. I guess we should...
Thanks, much appreciated.
Sure.
Hey, come on. It's nothing. We got chemistry, you and me. Be a crying shame to waste it. Partner.
Hey.
Oh.
Aw.
It's alive.
Cuddly little fucker.
You know what, Jackie? You're not all bad yourself.
Oh, you don't mean that, chica.
All right.
Okay, partner. Time to grab the lizard and scurry out of here.
Watch out. It might bite. Oh, it's still alive.
Hello there, Night City! Stanley here with you, and we got another day ahead of us in this city of dreams.
Here we are in the city.
Ooh, I love this town. Love it like you might love a mother who popped you out on the steps of an orphanage once and now stops you to ask if you got a smoke for her. Every new day here means 100 new arrivals, but only half these gonks will survive a year, and that's if it's a good one. And why do these peeps come to NC? Well, to be street samurai like Morgan, Blackhand, and Waylon Boa Boa. The greater the risk, the bigger the bounty, kids. Or so they say. But you can only be a major league player for so long. The faster you live, the faster you burn out. If you don't get a bullet to the brain first.
Yikes. Did I just lose a tooth? Oh, but we went and got revenge on these fuckers.
NC's legends. Know where you'll find most of them? The graveyard. Matters not where you're from. Matters
Is that his mom?
start. What matters here is the walk you walk.
Hey, we got our own place.
In Night City. The city of dreams.
Chick we're looking for is somewhere in this building. Probably crawling with the pendejos that kidnapped
Half
her.
a year later.
Eyes and ears open, all right? Speaking of which, got you a little something. Militech training shard. In case you need to, brush up on your dance moves.
Really?
Down for some target practice in VR?
How'd you get this?
Militech. Jack, we're talking classified military-grade tech here. How did you get it?
T-Bug. And our girl made a couple adjustments.
Why? Thinks she knows better?
Nah, said it didn't suit her, style. You'll see what I mean.
Sure.
Sure. Why the hell not?
Let's begin with basic combat training. This session will be recorded for subsequent evaluation.
Whoa. Okay. Huh. Gee whiz. So we got a full, like, 6 months montage, just like that, of all we've been up to in Night City. So they do take you, I guess it's a bit of a time skip, like they jump you ahead to a time where you're already established. I mean, I guess that makes sense, right? If you were playing the tabletop game, the DM would also probably, like, time skip you ahead to when you've got your own place and, like, you've got your established contacts. So I actually don't know how much this nomad origin story is really going to play in the rest of the game, because, like, I have to assume we're kind of past the introduction at this point. Like all 3 paths probably lead you to this point. So I took nomad because I thought maybe it would introduce you to Night City as, like, a newcomer. It would, like, explain the different districts and, you know, kind of like slowly introduce you to it. But it sounds like you're kind of being thrown right in the middle of things where, like, you've already been here a while. So it's an interesting choice. It just happened so quickly, like there was so much going on. I wish I could, like, slow it down, and I guess when I'm editing the video I'm gonna take a closer look at things and what happened, because, like, I know it's not possible, but I wish I got to play all these adventures myself instead of just seeing, like, a little montage of it. I wish we got to play through these missions and, like, go out dancing with Jackie and meet, what was that, his mother? And then, like, pick fights with people, do some work. It sounds like we've already met, like, a few important characters. I don't know, all the characters are so detailed in their model that you don't know who's going to be a main character or who's just an NPC that you only see once, you know? Because in a lot of games, it's very, very obvious who's an NPC and who's a main character. Like, their design will always be kind of, like, simple and generic, but then other people are very detailed with the beautiful hair and outfits. But in this game, everyone is so detailed. So I don't know if the people we met were, like, important characters or they were just NPCs. And also, see, this is why I need to pause the game to share my thoughts. So it's so weird. Why would Arasaka carry, like, a live iguana as contraband and it's worth a lot of money? I mean, I guess if the species is extinct, then yeah, like, the one specimen they have left would be worth a lot of money. But then again, you think that the technology being what it is, it would be very easy to clone them or create more of them. I really thought it was going to be, you know, technology like a computer or like some chips or a weapon of some kind, like a prototype or something. But no, really did not expect a living thing. Like, does Jackie have the iguana now? Does he have it as a pet, or were we able to sell it? I don't know. Actually, I can't check my journal right now because I'm in the thing. I was gonna say maybe we have some new journal entries that explain kind of what happens during the 6 months, but maybe not. Oh yeah, the other thing I was gonna say. So he's got this chip for you, and he's like, oh, this is like a training chip, and it's Militech, and she's like, oh wow, Militech, that's very, very rare, but, like, is it really rare? Because every time you're in these settings, it sounds like everyone is getting their hands on this rare technology and, like, this Militech and this like, military grade equipment and technology. And because everyone is always getting their hands on it, it doesn't really sound that hard to come by. But I guess that's because you're always following, like, main characters during their stories, and so that's why they find this stuff, and, like, kind of regular people, they don't really come across this kind of thing. I know that's kind of the impression I had. So it seems like they're giving us a bit of a gameplay tutorial here. And so just so that it's fresh in my mind the next time I play, I think maybe I'm going to stop the episode here. We went through kind of the introduction, so I think this is a good place to stop for now. And then I can start the next episode doing the tutorial and kind of learning how the combat works, because all we've done so far is shoot the gun from the car. We haven't seen any real combat yet. And I'm really interested to see all the different playstyles there are. Like, I think you can play more stealth, maybe like all guns blazing, more like strength based. Like, you've got the hacking maybe, and like the stealth stuff. So I'm very curious to see which playstyle appeals the most to me. I'm not really sure yet. I'm gonna wait until we've kind of sampled a few of them before I make up my mind. But I really enjoyed this first episode. I'm really impressed by the world. Like, it's so insanely detailed, and we've only seen outside of town. We haven't even explored Night City proper yet. But the environment is like crazy detailed with like all the advertising, the items, the clothes, the people. To me, that's always one of the most fascinating parts of any game, is like getting to kind of study the environment and really get immersed in this world that these devs and artists created for us. And so far, it's very, very impressive. Like, you can learn so much about the world just from the way people live, you know, and their little, like, the little objects they use, whether it's like an instrument or a cigarette or a book or like what they're eating. You know, you can learn so much about the people just from kind of how they interact with things. I can tell this is going to be a very, very long game, a very long playthrough. I don't know yet like how much I'm going to do in the playthrough itself. Like, I don't know if I'm going to do every side quest or like every little side activities, because I don't want to play through to go on for, you know, a year. It's really going to depend on you guys' interest. Like, if you want to see everything, let me know in the comments and I will do as much as I can. If you want me to focus maybe just on the main quest or like on a few side quests, we could do that also. I'm open to like adjusting the playthrough depending on what you guys want to see. And again, I don't really know how many branching paths there are, or if everyone's playthrough kind of goes the exact same way, or like if your choices can affect the outcome of the story. And of course, don't tell me in the comments. I don't want it spoiled for me. Even if there's no actual branching paths, let me think that maybe there are, so that I can weigh my choices in a meaningful way. So yeah, if you enjoyed this first episode, please consider subscribing to the channel. I upload new videos every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 12 p.m. EST. So make sure to subscribe so that you catch all the future episodes. You can also support me on my Patreon in the description below, and all my patrons get a full week of early access on the videos. So you can catch next week's episode right now by checking out the Patreon. You can of course drop a like on the video, leave me a little comment. I always read all the comments and I try to reply to as many as I can. I love to hear your thoughts. Again, just make sure you don't have any spoilers or like backseating in the comments, please. Another little something that helps with the YouTube algorithm is if you click another one of my videos right after watching this one. Apparently, allegedly, that can help with the algorithm. So if you want to do me a solid, please click on another one of my videos, maybe in the sidebar. But with all that being said, that's going to be it for me today. So I want to say a big thank you for joining me for this first episode. I had fun playing this, hope you had fun watching it, and I will see you in the next one for some more Cyberpunk 2077. See ya, tunes.